What's going on, everybody? It's Nicky Bobby here, and what I'm doing today is I'm going to go ahead and restore this old rusty trailer hitch. I mean, as you can see, I don't know how old this thing is, but it's got plenty of rust on here, and it's overall just kind of looking pretty old. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to clean it up, get all the rust off here, which is one, going to make it last longer because, as you all know, rust eats away at metal. But also, we're going to paint it, which is going to keep rust from getting back on here, and it's going to make it look brand new. So that being said, let's jump right into the video. Alright guys, so the first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and remove the ball from the hitch. Now, if you don't have a vice grip, you can actually do this right on your car by inserting it into your mount upside down. Now what I'm doing here, as you can see, is I used a breaker bar to break the nut loose. And then you can use a ratchet wrench to get it off the rest of the way. And once you're done with that, go ahead and scrub it off with a metal wire brush. You can do this by hand, but it's super helpful if you have an attachment or some kind of power tool to do this. It's just going to make your work a lot easier. Alright, now right about here my camera cuts out, unfortunately, because I ran out of battery. But as you can see, it still looks really good as we were able to scrape off just about all of that rust. Now the inside, however, is still super dirty and there is some rust in there as well, so we're going to want to clean that out too. So in order to do this, go ahead and put it back in your vice grip and grab some all-purpose cleaner. Now I'm using Law's Totally Awesome, and this is really good stuff. You can get it at the Dollar Tree. It's super inexpensive and it works really well, so I highly recommend it. From there, go ahead and just grab an assortment of brushes and try cleaning the inside best you can. You're never going to get it perfect, but even if you just get a little bit, that's still pretty good. So just kind of do your best. Alright, next go ahead and rinse it off. And check this out, we didn't even get the inside perfect, but you can see how much rust and dirt is coming out. So that's still really good. Now that you've done that, go ahead and sand down the entire trailer hitch. This is going to give it a nice smooth finish, and it's going to kind of hopefully scrape off some of that rust you might have not been able to get with the metal wire brush. Now what I'm doing here is I'm going to move to a finer grit sandpaper to give it an extra smooth finish, and that's going to make it come out all that much better. Once you're done with the sanding part, go ahead and give it a really good rinse. Now you also want to clean it super well, so go ahead and grab your all-purpose cleaner once again and grab some brushes and give it a really good scrub. Now, a super important place to clean is on the inside, so don't forget to do that. And once again, you're not going to get it perfect, but if you can just try to do the best you can, that's going to get it good enough. Excellent. So now go ahead and dry it off with a towel and try to get the inside, but otherwise you can just let it sit to ensure that the inside is completely dry. And once you know that it's completely dry, you can start painting. So grab yourself some spray paint and go ahead and paint it on. Now, for the first coat, start off with a thin layer. You typically want your coats to be pretty thin, and then if it's not coming out super complete, just add more coats. But that's to keep it from getting all blotchy. So start out with a thin coat. After about 15 minutes, you can go ahead and flip the hitch over and get the underside. Once again, start out with a thin coat, and you can always add more coats later, but you just don't want that paint to get all blotchy. Another important place to get is the inside. Don't forget to do that. And after that, you can repeat this process as many times as you like, and otherwise, you're good to go. Alright guys, so one last thing we're going to do before we put this back on the car is put the ball back on the hitch. So to do this, grab some medium strength thread locker and put that on the threads, and then tighten it down with your ratchet wrench and then your torque wrench from there. Alright guys, check this out. Here is our finished product. And this thing turned out really, really good. As you can see, it looks awesome. I mean, this really looks brand new. You could practically put this on a shelf and people would probably buy it because they would think this is brand new. And you know, the crazy thing about this was super easy to do. I just used a can of spray paint, nothing special, some cleaner, and some brushes, and that was it. That's all you need to get this job done. And the great thing about paint is not only does this fresh coat of paint make it look really good, but it also acts as a sealant, so it's going to protect it from rust in the future. So if you're thinking about getting a new hitch because your old one is all rusted out and it's kind of old, think again, because like I said, it's super easy to do this, and you can save money by restoring your old hitch instead of buying a whole new one. So that being said, I'm going to finish this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.